In the farming towns around Bakersfield, oil drilling and agriculture coexist, for the most part, peacefully.
We were heartbroken.
But now Mike Hopkins says careless drilling and disposal have destroyed his cherry orchard.
2008, we started seeing our trees burning on the tips of the leaves and the leaves turning brown.
Because of the drought, farmers are relying more on underground reservoirs to irrigate crops and orchards, often the same aquifers where Oilfield wastewater is being dumped.
We started doing more water testing, and we saw our water quality decline year over year over year.
Turns out the oil companies had permission from California regulators to put wastewater back in the ground. Farmer and local environmental watchdog Tom FRANTZ says this puts prime farmland at risk.
They're injecting wastewater right beside an area where a farmer is pumping up irrigation water.
An Associated Press investigation reveals that the state issued permits for more than 2,500 wells that allow oil companies to dump drilling fluid or wastewater into aquifers. The Environmental Protection Agency had warned the state repeatedly that it wasn't doing enough to protect pristine underground water that's supposed to be saved for drinking and irrigation.
We are looking very closely at how these permits were initially allowed.
California's Natural Resources Agency admits mistakes were made. In some cases, regulators used maps like this one from 1875 to check the boundaries of oil fields and aquifers. This past summer, state regulators pulled the permits for this well in the outskirts of Bakersfield and 8 others that were threatening aquifers.
Saudi Arabia suddenly showing up in the breadbasket of America. You know, they're punching holes through our groundwater here.
The oil industry says the permits are proper and valid, and the scrutiny is part of a heightened sensitivity to water issues during the drought.
And I think when we go through this paperwork problem and solve it, there'll be confidence amongst the public and the regulators that, in fact, that's what we've done.
For Hopkins, the loss of his cherry orchard wasn't just a financial hit.
What was the family meetings?
You're gonna make me cry.
But he hopes that if oil companies follow the rules and the state enforces them,
Ag and oil, we can make this thing work.
the EPA has given the state until Friday, February 6th, to assess any contamination from the thousands of wells with faulty permits and stop it from happening again.
I do this a lot.
Raquel Maria Dillon, The Associated Press, Bakersfield, California.
Just checking the orchards.